So as a banking executive, as an expert in the economy, Dr. Corsi, what is your view now that you're back with us via video Skype on their attempts to deep six the economy?
Well, it's amazing. I mean, I again see in the even in the Congress. I mean, you're talking about Ryan and McConnell saying, "Oh no, no, we can't have tax cuts. We can't cut Medicare." I mean, when President Trump understands this, like he said today, he's going to demand within 30 days that there's going to be tax cuts. There's nothing to say that you can't take out of the demand in this Obamacare that you either have to have health insurance or pay a tax. I mean, there's various provisions in Obamacare that can be immediately repealed. And then beyond that, the broad tax cuts that the president wants to put into place, which will stimulate the economy, are going to be opposed here in Washington.
And why? Because all the major economists agree if we don't get big tax cuts, we're going to go into an absolute tailspin.
Well, the problem is you've got so many vested interests, including the GOP establishment. And I'm very suspect of Priebus still being within the White House. He's totally GOP establishment. And, you know, when it comes down to even picking the ambassadors, now that we've got...
I mean, let's just say it. Priebus represents the GOP establishment that's bought and paid for by George Soros. It's a fact.
It's a fact. I wrote in 2008, I did the first articles to show that John McCain had been financed by Soros, at least a dozen of them, including Ryan. And they don't want tax cuts because the truth is there's too many in the GOP establishment who will become wealthy with the spending programs going right along with Obamacare, going right along with the Democrats. And the truth is that, you know, President Trump's got to realize that the GOP establishment, including within the State Department, within many agencies, and within the White House itself, is not his friends. And given the chance, they will subvert his agenda. That's the whole point.
I understand why he brought some of them in, because they know how to navigate the system and get people in place and hired. But now, I don't want to attack Spicer because I'm not sure about him, but Priebus I am. But you have all these front row people, and it's not that I even want to be in that front row. It's that why would you have all these known enemies that your president's calling fake there when you could have more reasonable newspapers or foreign press or a mix of it or even student journalists? Do something different. Kick out all these old entrenched corrupt dinosaurs, and then certainly they have to know Obama signed the bill to federalize communications and take over and start attacking the alt-right. I don't care if it was the alt-left. You can't shut down press in America or put the CIA over the board of governors of the FCC. I mean, this is nightmare stuff that is directed at Trump himself, saying, you know, kick Trump. The same group says kick Trump off Twitter because he's a hate monger. I mean, this is incredible.
Well, and it's also, you've got to understand, when Trump understands this, and I've known him for 40 years, he will make immediate changes. I mean, I've seen him, look at the campaign. When he needed to change campaign managers and bring in Manafort in order to manage delegates, he did so. When he needed a campaign manager that could really guide the campaign, Kellyanne Conway came on and did a brilliant job. These are Trump people. There are a lot of Trump people around willing to play a role in the administration and in the media. Now, Donald Trump realizes that, you know, the mainstream media is shutting out those of us who would help Trump. When he realizes that the departments are still packed with John Kerry and Barack Obama supporters, there's going to be a massive firing of out of the bureaucracy. And we need a bigger press room in the White House. We need more access for the internet, reporters and bloggers who truly support Donald Trump. Donald Trump wants to turn the press narrative around. He's going to get these mainstream...
That's right, and that's all being blocked by Spicer under orders of Priebus. And I know for a fact from multiple sources, Priebus is going in with anybody Trump wanted and brought in that he's known and saying, the president's fired you. And the person says, I want to hear from the president. And then a day later, Spicer goes, let's be friends, let's be friends. Classic tactics that Reince Priebus is engaged in. I mean, just look at the guy. He looks like a weasel out of Central Casting, but then look at his pedigree. He is the worst of the worst that tried to steal the nomination from Trump and said our votes didn't count as citizens. I mean, this is crazy. So Trump is delivering on his promises so far, you know, day 18 or 19. I love him. It's amazing. The problem is you can see him being opposed in real time by his own people.
Well, Trump wants to move, and I think appropriately, at warp speed. He sees the need, and he wants, as a CEO, to correct it. And every time he turns around, he's got Priebus and Ryan and McConnell, the Republican GOP establishment, saying, "Oh no, no, you can't do that. You can't move so fast. We have to consider." No, he doesn't have to consider anything.
And then they leak, oh, the president admits he's wrong. He's not going to move fast. The next day he goes, I didn't say that. We're moving fast. They keep, again, just like Gingrich, saying, oh, the president told me it's all a lie. He's not going to drain the swamp. And the president said, you're a liar. Go tell people that's a lie. He had to go say he was lying. They're really trying to undermine him.
Exactly. If the president wants to, and he will want to change the narrative in this country, get rid of the mainstream media, still sitting in the front row of the press office every time he comes in asking gotcha questions and determined to write negative stories. You want to change the narrative in America, change the press room, a bigger press room, open to a more diverse press, and get this David Brock and these other criminal leftists who want to destroy this country with censorship exposed, along with Google and Facebook.
Absolutely. And I want to add a couple points here. I'm going to go to some phone calls. Ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you that Reince Priebus is on about ½ an inch thick ice, and the sun just came out. So Reince Priebus can just enjoy himself all he wants and play his little sabotage games and sit there and kiss Trump's butt. Trump sees right through you, just like he did whenever he met at the Trump Tower with Romney. And Romney is not a weasel compared to Priebus. I'll just say that, but it has its problems. And has tried to sell out to the GOP establishment. They betrayed him as well. But, I mean, I told you weeks before he's not going to be chosen for Secretary of State. And I told you that. And let me tell you, Trump knows what's going on. Now, I run a pretty good-sized company of 60-something people. I have issues sometimes with not knowing what folks are up to and finding out what's happening. So imagine President Trump with 4,000 people under him and all the subterfuge and everything else in his workload. I'm giving him an A+ because, I mean, he has done amazing things. But understand this. He needs us to be watchdogs, just as Stephen Bannon has come out and said, listen, keep us honest, watch what we're doing, because we can't watch every angle. This is crazy. Now, briefly, before I go to some phone calls with our guest here, I want people to know that my father is a recently retired dentist and oral surgeon, and working with the biggest organic fluoride-free toothpaste manufacturer in the United States. We created our private labeled but proprietary Super Blue non-fluoride toothpaste with iodine, nano silver, peppermint, and tea tree oil, and it's concentrated. It's $9.95. It's a big tube. Your purchase supports the broadcast. And, I mean, my dad wanted to put out toothpaste years ago, and I'm like, people don't want that. People just buy the regular, organic stuff. They don't need it to get it from us. But, boy, he was right. This will now be the best seller ever, replacing the Super Male Vitality and replacing X2 because people love it. It's got a whole bunch of 4.8-star reviews on Power Reviews. Super Blue, available at InfoWarsStore.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139. A lot of other specials on nutraceuticals. Again, we're about to sell out of the Trump is my president shirt and have new designs come out. It's all there, InfoWarsStore.com. We've got the nanotech body armor that's proprietary. We have a new negative ion purification system that plugs into your car, into the cigarette lighter, into the power outlet. So much more at InfoWarsStore.com or 888-253-3139. Let's go to Natasha for Dr. Corsi in this segment and the next. Natasha, thanks for holding from Tennessee. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, Alex. Nice to speak to you for the first time. I'm an avid listener of yours. I do a lot of research in every aspect, and I've realized that truly what you said about, the state of the country, has actually become extremely in jeopardy for people like us who are truly fighting to be able to actually educate people on what's actually happening in the world, because many people are just so brainwashed by the fact that they think what the mainstream media tells them is actually the truth, and it's not. In most aspects, it's nothing but lies, and that's become a huge problem because people actually believe it.
Well, that's right. Some of us are awake and know what's going on, not that we're perfect. Other people just believe whatever they're told and believe that openly talking about killing Trump's a good thing, and mainstream media is promoting killing Trump. Where do you think this is all going, Dr. Corsi?
Well, I think that basically the support of in the country for Donald Trump has never been higher. And I think that people are seeing that Donald Trump is doing a magnificent job. And Alex, I think he was on your show, I believe, 3 times in the campaign. He listens to you. We can see he's responded very quickly.
The Drudge.
Immediately, he'll respond as well to you. And I think the whole issue...
Well, we'll stay right there. That's right. The people have to keep pressing, keep reaching out on Twitter to Trump, letting him know what's going on. He listens to you, folks. He listens to you.